And I know that this video is probably not the typical, oh, well, here's the analytic difference and here's all these differences. What I realized is that it doesn't matter what the software has. If you don't utilize it and you don't utilize it consistently, then what's the point of having it? So whether or not Klaviyo in the grand scheme of business is better than Flodesk, I truly don't care, because what matters to me is, am I sending emails consistently to my email list, and does it feel like a chore or not? So after about 6 years in business, I realized something about myself as me, the individual business owner, is that I am not somebody who needs to be paying or spending money on business softwares that I am not going to utilize to the fullest extent. So in today's video, I'm really going to be honing in and focusing on email marketing, because I think that this is one of the number one things as a business owner, no matter where you are in your business journey, that you should be focusing on, because it is, and it can be, one of the most money drivers. One of the biggest drivers of your revenue for the year comes from email marketing and being consistent with email marketing. And I'm somebody who has not been consistent with email marketing, even though that was one of my goals for 2025. And I realized that it was because of the software I was using and not because of a lack of being consistent with email marketing. I just was so overwhelmed by all of the different things that I could do with the software that I was using. So recently I switched, and that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. So just to paint the picture for you and give you an overall viewpoint of the last few years in business when it comes to email marketing, I have been using the platform Klaviyo for the last, I would say, about 3 years. I did actually start with Flodesk, but at the time they didn't have everything that I was looking for. So I switched over to Klaviyo, thinking that, okay, this is going to be so much better when it comes to sending out emails and what I can do with it. And what I found over the last 3 years is that I did not take advantage of nearly most of the things that they have on Klaviyo. The back end is fine, but it's very, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of different things that you can do. And recently, I just was really wanting to look for something else, because I was not finding myself following through with sending out emails. Sending out emails felt like a chore. It felt like it was just taking forever. It felt like I was overthinking everything. I was designing all of my emails on Canva, and basically, I had my templates kind of, but it was just a lot of, exporting onto Klaviyo, and just, it just felt like to me that email marketing felt like a chore. It's felt like a chore, and it's made it to where I haven't wanted to do it. And as a business owner, it's a non-negotiable. I have to be sending out emails at least once a week to my email list, because that is what's going to continuously drive those sales on my website. So a couple weeks ago, I decided to see what else was out there. I wanted to see other email marketing platforms, see maybe if I could find something that was cheaper, see if I could find something that maybe I liked better. And then I found Flodesk again. And I thought to myself, why did I ever stop using that platform? And I think it's because some of my candle making friends had switched from Flodesk to Klaviyo a few years back as well. But also, I think that Flodesk did not used to have some of the features that they now have. And I definitely don't think that they used to have abandoned cart checkouts. So I think that there were certain things about Flodesk that I just felt like was limiting me. And I looked at Klaviyo as being better. It was more expensive, and I thought, okay, it's got all these other things. And it was just something that I had changed over at the time. Well, funny enough, I'm back at Flodesk again, and I'm just so glad that I did, because I am so much happier. It sounds so ridiculous to say, honestly, to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so much happier with this email marketing platform. But just looking at the difference of the dashboards, I hope you know what I mean by this. Because the way that they design it, the way that Flodesk designs everything, is to make it extremely user-friendly, so that when you go on, you know exactly what you're doing. You're going to be sending an email, you're going to be starting a workflow, you're going to be creating a form, whatever it is that you're going to be doing. It's right there at the top. And it helps me realize, okay, well, when I log on and when I go into Flodesk, I know exactly what I'm doing. Versus Klaviyo, sure, if I'm going on to send an email, to send a campaign, I just feel like there's so many multi-steps onto it, and then it's just kind of, then I have to go into Canva and create everything. And yes, Klaviyo does have their templates as well, but I just felt like it was just very bland. And Flodesk, whether or not this is the millennial in me, I have no idea. Or maybe the ADHD, I don't know. I just need it to be very straightforward, very easy for me to send emails and fun to send emails. And I just feel like I get that way more with Flodesk than with Klaviyo. And I know that this video is probably not the typical, oh, well, here's the analytic difference and here's all these differences. What I realized is that it doesn't matter what the software has. If you don't utilize it and you don't utilize it consistently, then what's the point of having it? So whether or not Klaviyo in the grand scheme of business is better than Flodesk, I truly don't care, because what matters to me is, am I sending emails consistently to my email list, and does it feel like a chore or not? So I need to actually send out an email right now to let my list know what the deadline is for Christmas ordering. So I thought I'd do that right now with you. Now, I did get started with it, but I wanted to show you how I got to that point. So right here, this is new email. And then I'm going to click on share news. And I used this template right here. Now keep in mind that any of these templates that you choose, I realize that you can just click on it and change the layout of just this section right here. You can change it to anything that you want on any of the templates. So right up here, there is this layout that I ended up choosing. So let me upload this photo. So here's the photo I'm using, and I'm just going to be putting order by 12/15 for Christmas delivery. And now I have different fonts on here. Now these are the ones that I uploaded. So this is the one I use a lot for my brand, which is called Laura. And I'm just going to put it like that. And then this is a 2-part color background, which is pretty cool on this one. You can also change the background color on here. So I have, when I click on colors, these are my brand colors that I have saved. So I'm going to do the green, and then I'm going to do the same green, but then I'm just going to take it down a little bit just to add in just a little depth, a little ombre there, if you will. And then I'll change the background color and make that one just a little lighter. So you can see the mobile preview, so you can see what it's going to look like on mobile. Now on here, this is where you can type in, the message to everybody. So on the other one, and I'll pop over to this one so you can see, and as you can see, I even changed this up. I do it different every time. It's just kind of whatever I'm feeling in the moment. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just try to stay with the same kind of branding, which I actually think I like this one better. So I think I'm going to keep this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this just so I bring it on over and paste it in here. Now I do have different styles chosen in terms of the font styles. So I'm going to change it over to this one and paste this. So I really like this right here. So if I have their first name associated with their email list, it's going to say, hey Sam, hey Sarah, whatever, or it'll say, hey friend, if there's no name associated with the email. So I just have some basic information. Again, this is just a very quick email that I'm sending out just to give them some updates. So just updating them, if they order on or before Monday, December 15th, then their package will arrive before Christmas. If they order after the date, then we cannot guarantee delivery before Christmas. And then I say, although it's still possible, because if they order the 16th or 17th, it's still possible for them to get it by Christmas. And then I say, make sure you get your orders in now before the cutoff date. So I'm giving that call to action. Now, the last thing that I want to do besides going through and actually deleting all of these additional layouts down here because I don't want it to be too crowded. I want it to be very, very focused on what I'm wanting to let them know in this email. But what I do want to add is a button for them to shop our website. So I can say shop now. Got our website link here, paste that in right there. And that is pretty much good to go. So very simple, very straightforward. The only other thing I want to make sure that I do is right here on the photo, I want to make sure that if they click on that, they're also going to be taken to my website. So pretty much anywhere on the listing itself, I want to make sure that they're able to get over to our website. So whether they click on the photo or click on the Shop Now button, they're able to go immediately over to our website to shop now. So now what I'm going to do is click on Next. And this is showing where the email is coming from. So that's what it's going to show in the email, and then the email address that it's going to show sending from. And then what I really love about this is the automatic suggestions for the subject line and the preview text. So I'm going to take away the little emoji. I'm kind of back and forth on using emojis. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. There's kind of a whole thing on it in terms of subject lines. So don't miss the Christmas ordering deadline. I think that's totally fine. Order by December 15th to ensure delivery before Christmas. I'm just going to leave it as is. Again, super easy. I'm not even having to really think too much about that. And then this is where I go in and add all of my segments. So I am actually going to choose my newsletter subscribers. I got to go in and kind of condense these. So some of these people subscribe to the early access, local customers. These two, this one right here, and then this one up here, I actually need to get rid of. I should do that actually right now because that was when I had my old Flodesk account from the very beginning. So some of these people may have unsubscribed, throughout the years, whatever. So I actually have, I've condensed my email list over the years. I've cleaned them out from people who are not opening the emails and, really condensing everything down. So that's something I need to do, but super easy. You can just pick the segments. And then that's why it's also really easy that when I send out local emails to my local customers, I can just choose this segment. So it's going to be sent to 2,178 recipients. So here is what it looks like. And then when I click continue, sometimes when I get to this part, I go, ooh, is there anything I missed? So then I click on send a test. So I'm going to send a test right now, make sure all the buttons are working, make sure it's exactly how I want it to be, and then I'll feel more comfortable pressing send now. So here's what it looks like in my email. So order by 12/15 for Christmas delivery. It says my name. Everything looks good on here. Now I just need to test to make sure that this works on here. Yep, takes me to my website. And then I go down here, I click on shop now, takes me to my website. So it looks like it is good to go. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to say send now. It will begin sending immediately. Send now. So you can undo it real quick if you're like, oh, wait a second. You have a couple seconds to do that. I can delete this one because that was the first one I had on there. And then now we can, in just a second, I can see the process or the progress analytics already once it sends. So after a couple minutes, everything is done. So you can click on view results. Now this is just a couple minutes into it. So out of the 2178 that was sent, 2155 was delivered because sometimes it can bounce and not actually reach people's inboxes. So far in the last couple minutes, 90 opens, no clicks yet. So you can see this will be more available, like if it's open more on mobile or desktop. Usually it's mobile. Email delivery, so 98.9% of emails were delivered. This always happens, always. It's kind of like when I upload a new YouTube video and I always get people that unsubscribe because they're like, oh, no, I don't watch you anymore. But then there's, it's that back and forth. So there's always people subscribing, always people unsubscribing. So don't let that get to you. It is what it is. So that is the overview a Flodesk, and also the overview of just my reasoning on why I switched from Klaviyo to Flodesk. I know I didn't talk about pricing at all, but real quick, I'll just go over pricing in terms of the difference. So Klaviyo, I was paying $75 a month, and now I'm paying $38 a month with Flodesk. Now, Flodesk did recently change up their pricing, but it is still more affordable than Klaviyo. And because I am now a Flodesk partner, which is super freaking cool, I can give anybody who is new to Flodesk 25% off your first year. So I'll have that linked above in the card, down below in the comments, wherever, if you're wanting to either switch to Flodesk or get on an email marketing platform in general. What's really cool is they do have a free plan on Flodesk to where you can collect emails. You can't send them on the free plan, but you can collect them. So you can still have, you know, a little landing page to collect the emails. So if you're just doing local markets and you're getting started and you want to collect emails, but you don't want to pay for it yet before you have the emails to send, you can do the free plan. But of course, it's always nice to be able to send emails and have those emails sent when people sign up. So it's completely up to you if it's something that you're wanting to do. But that is just kind of my overview so far. I do have plans to make other videos in the future because, again, this is something that I'm really excited about. I am searching for not only just for email marketing, but for other softwares. So for instance, I think I'm going to be switching from QuickBooks to a different platform for my bookkeeping. And I'll probably update that as well, just because I feel like 2026 is going to be the year of me making things as streamlined and simple for myself as possible. I don't need all these complicated softwares that are adding more to my plate and making things more complicated and making me take more time in doing things. I used to spend a lot more time doing emails, and I just feel like this is helping me a lot. So I'm sure there's some people out there who are like, oh, this is way too simple of a software. Like, I need something more robust. Then you probably need something like Klaviyo, or maybe even more than that. But for right now, Flodesk is allowing me to actually follow through with my email marketing goals. But with that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something. I hope you got some value from today's video. If you did, make sure to let me know down in the comment. Let me know what you use for email marketing. If you're wanting to join Flodesk, if you use something else, if you're not quite ready yet, just let me know down in the comment section below. But with that, I will see you in the next one.